2, 3. Welcome to the Two and a Half Citizens podcast. I'm Zen.
And I'm Pablo.
And let's get into it. I guess I don't know like your sexuality. So have you been to like?
Yeah, I've gotten pedicures before.
Okay.
I've never gotten a manicure, but I've gotten a pedicure.
Manicures are the thing. Pedicures for me, my feet mad sensitive. It tickles me. I feel mad feminine. It's hard for me to get a pedicure.
I get like hangnail or like ingrown nails. So when they get really bad, I get a pedicure.
But for my hands, they'd be making me feel like cuticles. For one, the cuticles don't even be. Because my cuticles right now mad cute, but like sometimes they get a little out of control. And when you're really getting things handled there, and when you really feel, it makes you feel like, all right. I was going in about this. I was reading the Playboy article one day. Reading the article, not actually like looking at the magazine. It was just words. I had to use imagery. All right. So imagination and stuff. I think it was Kalani. I believe it was an artist or something like that. They were doing the interview and they asked her when she felt her sexiest. Right. Mm-hmm. And she was like, "It's not like when I'm wearing this or doing that or whatever." She said, "For me, it's when I feel 100% cared for and taken care of, where I've like lotion, moisturized, and everything to the T, where I feel like, damn, I'm so like clean right now that like that's where she feels that way." When your nails get taken care of to that degree, dog, there's something about it, especially when I was working like blue collar things. My hands be feeling like they're just these tools, and when you like get those tools polished, cleaned, and cared for, it makes you feel like a new person.
I will say though, I would love for like the day before my wedding, if like all of us like pull up, manicure, pedicure.
Pull up, manicured and pedicured?
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. I mean, we could pull up that way. Everyone gonna be wearing shoes. No one's gonna know that people gonna be pedicured. Manicures though, and one thing that I think will be a hard ass look and an inclusionary look. I mean, this is just a me thing.
Okay.
If we have black and white nails to match the tuxes,
I don't know about that.
Like basically like there's little tuxedos on them. You know what I'm saying? Just something to make us feel like not only like we cared, we coordinated with the outfits, and we really showed that we're not afraid to demasculate ourselves for Pablo and his special day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's something that I feel like I want to let you know. First and foremost, if you need me to be in a dress, I ain't 100% opposed to it.
I mean, I don't need you to be in a dress.
I don't think you need me to be either, but I'm just saying, like, I'm riding and dying for this event, dog.
Bella, it's okay.
Bella, there's no need to be wilding like that for real right now at this moment.
Yeah.
Come over here. You going crazy.
She's talking about how there's a Bella's on her conspiracy stuff about how there's a war on masculinity.
I really think so. She's going in on the war on masculinity. Yeah. I think she's homophobic.
Yeah.
We know she's racist. We found that out recently. Not recently. We've discovered her distaste for other types of people. But yeah, I think it's.
Are you done?
Are you done? Settle down. I think it's necessary for your wedding, dog. I think we need, especially with the mix of the caucasity in there, I think we need some sort of way to show that we're allies with the rest of the world. Even though you're participating in monogamy and getting married in a church and things like that.
Getting married in a church.
Well, you know what I mean? Getting married in the eyes of God, in front of God's eyes and his people.
Oh, and it's going to be like a hetero wedding?
Exactly. So you need to add a little spice to show that you can ally.
Oh, okay. I got to be like the companies that like put their they make their logos rainbow to show to show that you care, but you really don't.
Let's talk about it. You ready to talk about it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Pride Month. We're in swing of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The rainbows are coming out.
Yeah.
All right. Ain't it a little interesting? Because I saw there's like some places like putting up rules for the way like pride parades work. Like they're like banning certain subgroups of the culture, like no leather gays, like the leather daddies or whatever. Like a lot of these parades are blocking those types of people. It's like they're basically saying, look, corporations now need this for their PR and they need to look good. So this has to be a family-friendly environment. So I get that it's the gay pride parade. I get that all this gay shit finna go on. But there's families. So it's like, you know, come on, let's be respectful here. Now the companies and corporations are coming in and ungaying the gay fest. How does that, like, it's like if they're like, hey, there's families here. Can we please not have y'all kissing like this?
Yeah. Like,
not in front of the families. Not in front of the families.
Maybe hold hands.
Maybe pinkies, to be honest.
Yeah. You know what? Just put your arm around them so it could be like your brother.
Just stand next to each other, to be honest. Just so, like, so how was that
Actually, there's Rona going on, 6 feet apart.
Yeah. But not other families because they're regular hetero families, and it's studies show hetero families don't pass COVID to each other.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, I don't have an opinion. Like, I'm not gay, so like, I don't know what to say. Like, I do like.
It just seems interesting.
It does suck because it's like, man, like these companies don't really care. They just want to look like they care,
and then they take over the shit.
Yeah, so for that, I do feel for them. Like, I'm like, man, that sucks for them, but, you know, it is what it is. It happens with anything.
I don't understand how months get picked to be the month.
Yeah.
But don't you think that, like, Black History Month should have been...
Not February, the shortest month of the...
Not only that, but, like, gay people get June. And Bill Burr talks about the whole thing. They get, like, the best month. But also, it's Juneteenth in June.
Yeah.
You don't think they could have gotten June for real? A good summer month, a long month... And they get to partner Juneteenth with it. It'd been the powerhouse. I don't know if some Black history stuff was happening in February and they needed to talk about it. Maybe they didn't have anything else after Valentine's Day. They didn't know what else to do.
I think about like that Dave Chappelle thing where he talks about how there's some white privilege behind the LGBTQ. That's why they get further.
Yeah.
In the things. Again, no hate behind that. That's just what it feels like sometimes.
Yeah, because you do see there is a large... Because if you think about it, like, gay white men or gay white women get a lot of, like, praise and you go, girl. But the second that it's, like, a minority, that's when, like, not only do they have to deal with the hate of the world for them being gay, but then they have to deal with the hate of their culture. White people are like, all right, look, if we don't like gays, we don't like gays. But, like, if you gay, all right, you're white, but... gay, but you know what I mean? It's fine.
But well, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. And maybe, you know, because you get those country white gays. Oh, that's a whole different...
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other genre.
You know what I'm saying? Like but, corn husk, you know, you don't... Them corn husk gays, them back mountaineers.
I wish I could quit you.
See what I'm saying? It's, those are, you know, inbred homosexual whites. That's a whole different thing. Yeah. I don't even know what side of the political spectrum you stand on when you're on that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Like, I feel like you don't agree you should get married. Like, that's the type of gays that you're dealing with out there.
You know, like, when there's, like, those... You know, like, those women that, like, still think women belong in the kitchen. It's like those anti-feminine women. That's what I think of.
So, I want to bring something up.
Like, anti-feminism.
I want to see what you think about this. Somebody brought this to me. I was having a conversation with somebody, and I was talking about the sub-genres of, like, pop culture.
Okay.
And he was talking to me about, you know, he's very, very, we'll just say Mexican in culture.
Okay.
Like the type that, you know, when they like to go out to nice places or there's a nice event, like they're putting out the sombrero and they're like, ooh. You know what I'm saying? That type.
Was he born there or?
No. But so I start talking to him and I'm like,
because I don't even do that.
I know. And I'm like, I don't get it. Right. I don't get that whole thing. He was like, they try to imitate like the cartel lifestyle of living, right? That's like where you seem cool. Like if someone in American culture wants to seem like a baller, it's like you're out here like if you own a business, or you're out here like if you like you're trying to dress and look like you have that type of living situation. Yeah. In this subculture, you get a lot of the people that want to be acting like they got money, so much money that they got to feel like you had it from drugs or something.
Okay.
So it's like you got to be wearing gold medallions, you got to be wearing big sombreros, you got to be like...
the big belt buckle.
Exactly. It's that whole thing. And I'm like, dude, I don't get that subculture. Like, I guess you're way more Mexican than me. What's the whole thing? He was like, for one, all that stuff... all the other Hispanic cultures get tied into this. That same culture is the same thing as the Bad Bunny culture, is the same thing as that whole culture. It's those subcultures of people. He said, you got the baddest bitches in that subculture. And I was like, okay, sure, you say, you know, this and that, that's your type or whatever. Then he goes, and the thing about those is if you find you a girl from there, and then you will see where we can talk about this whole thing. I didn't think about it this way, where he goes, If I see this girl and she mature and she tells me that her favorite thing to watch are novelas, then I know for a fact that she gonna know what I expect. She gonna know that if she's watching novelas and she's doing that, she's gonna be expected to clean. She's gonna be expected to cook. She's gonna be expected to do all this kind of stuff that like is traditional because they do show those traditional type of values in those novelas. In that thing, you get your ride or die girl that's like doing all this wild shit. So he's like, in that subculture, if I meet a girl there, I know that that's gonna be the type of girl that I'm wanting to be with. And I'm like, and he's like, and then I know what I'm expected to do. Like, you know what I mean? I get that balance. And I'm like, all right, if you're really looking for the most traditional way and you're really being like, I want these girls that are in this thing that know this, I'm like, damn, I guess. Like, I guess that ain't for me.
Yeah, I feel you, but
I get that if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But I never thought about it like that. Like, damn, all right. Like,
I don't know, man. I could never do something like that because, like, I feel like I was raised by strong women. So, like, for me, I'm like, why wouldn't I help out in the house? Like, who the hell am I? Like,
I feel that too. I feel like there's the strong women thing where you're like, all right, women out here be like really be out here doing things except for just making beans.
Bro, who the hell am I to tell my fiance, hey, yo, like, I know you worked your ass off to get that nursing degree, but, you know, we married, so, like, you ain't gonna work.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
Like,
that's ridiculous. My whole thing too is there's this obvious balance. Like I just think about it from like my perspective. If I come home and like someone's been home all day and there's just shit not done and they're just like watching TV, I'd be like, okay, so I'm just expected to do this shit. Like I've been gone, but like I'm expected to do this shit. Yeah. So that's like the same thing where I'm like, damn, I look at something and I'm like, if I got home, I'd be so annoyed.
Yeah,
let me just do this shit real quick.
And also like the way I see it, I'm like, if I got home before you, I'm gonna start dinner. If you got home before me, you're gonna start dinner.
But that's it. See, that makes sense in a perfect world.
Yeah.
But who got the better hand with the spices?
Nah, we both do.
But I'm saying, like in general, you got to ask that question in your relationship.
Who's more clean?
Who put it down better? Because sometimes people be knowing how to put it down, but they don't be knowing how to pick it up, dog.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing in certain relationships.
Yeah.
I'm not saying in any of our relationships, but I'm just saying that that's something that people might have to think about. Yeah. And someone's like, you might have to tell your wife. I think we're getting to this point. Men are better at women at cooking. I'm sorry, is what it is now. Is where we're at. All right? Is where we're at. Sometimes you might have to tell your girl, hey, I found this coupon online for 50% off a pedicure. I'm going to email that hoe to you. You should probably stop and get that on your way home from work because it expires by the end of the week and you got some time now so that you can beat her home and start dinner real quick because you know that if she starts dinner...
I've never felt that way.
I ain't never felt that way either. But what I'm saying is some people might be feeling that way.
Okay.
And if people feel that way, we can't be excluding those people from the conversation.
I see what you're saying.
When we have to let them know that there's other ways, that they don't have to feel obligated.
Yeah. Bro.
To like deal with these situations. It's really for our mental health as couples, really, to be honest, for us to be able to have these open and honest conversations.
My mom would like troll my sister because she's like, man, you don't know how to cook, you don't know how to clean. How the hell are you supposed to get married?
Real talk. I don't want to go into the deeper parts of the only other way, dog. Yeah. The only other way you about to find your dog. It's one way or the other. She either got to like get herself domesticated or she got to be a hoe, dog. And it's real talk. Out in these streets, dog, you got two ways. You have two pathways out here. You got to be there ain't never girls like you no more, or she got to be the hoe that trumps hoes.
No, I think you could be like, you just have to be super independent.
As a man?
No, as a woman.
What I'm saying is if you can't clean and cook for yourself, then you ain't even independent. So you got to find yourself a simp dude.
Oh, is that what you? So you got to take the Megan approach.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't cook, I don't clean.
But that was Cardi B.
Oh, that was Cardi.
I don't cook, I don't clean. But let me tell you how I got this ring. Let me tell you. Wow. Yeah. Now, not saying that but I'm just saying, dog. You got to put her in home ec or some shit, dog.
She knows how to cook. She's just too lazy.
I'm just saying, dog. There's a few ways around this. And you got to lead them in the right direction.
Yeah. One direction.
Exactly. What would Harry do? What would Harry look for?
Mm.
They looking models, or I've just been seeing them with models.
Yeah.
But let's get into a few topics here. So when we're recording this, it's Saturday. I got to let everybody know because the results of all this are already going to be out by the time this goes out.
Yeah.
And we're going to see if the internet is going to survive, if the world's going to survive after this event.
What event?
So tomorrow, most highly anticipated event in combat sports history is happening.
Motherfucker. Yo, they were looking at each other mad sensual during the stare down.
All right,
it was pretty cute.
So here's what I saw.
It is Pride Month.
I was watching the live event, and we're talking about Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. Okay, we're talking about Floyd Money Mayweather, basically one of the best boxers of our generation, 50-0 champion. Hella stats. I
was looking at the rules, and they seem so
all right,
like.
Let's
BS.
talk about that. So
yeah,
they're fighting Sunday, June 6th.
So like. No winner's gonna be declared, so it's like, why the hell are you boxing?
So it's an exhibition, and this is pretty much Floyd covering his ass to where
if he loses,
it doesn't affect his.
But in the streets, it will.
In the streets, it will, and this is what like Logan will say. Like, here's the thing: knockouts are allowed, though.
Yeah.
So no matter if they're not announcing winners, if someone gets knocked out, there's a winner.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. But there's not going to be judges, so it won't go to a decision anyway. I think it covers both of them. If it went to decision, do you really think in any way, shape, or form they would give it to Logan?
No.
I think like Floyd's too entrenched into it. There's no way.
If it went to decision, they're
not giving it to Jake. I mean to Logan. Why the fuck?
Because you love Jake.
I don't. I like Logan's personality better, but I've been liking that villanesque. I've been liking that villanesque thing about how Jake's been approaching things.
Yeah.
They announced the fight too, but we'll get into that. We talked about who it probably would be as soon as the podcast ended, and it is that person. Yeah. So it's weird though because they've been kind of piggybacking because the Floyd and Logan Paul fight so big. They've been piggybacking promo as soon as like leading up. They let this amplify, and then Jake will announce something so everyone looks at that too, and like they're amplifying both fights in that same way. Mm-hmm. But it's gonna happen. It's knockout, no judges, so no declared winner. They're doing 10-ounce gloves.
Yeah.
And then they're doing 3 minute 8 rounds. 8 rounds, 3 minutes.
Right. Which isn't there typically 12?
I believe so. So it's interesting. No headgear. It's an exhibition. And when they did the stare down,
sensual.
You see the towering difference, of course, of Logan versus Floyd. But
I thought he was just gonna pick Lloyd up and kiss him.
Here's what happened. Here's where I saw the sensuality that I think you're talking about.
And I know you saw it.
So they're staring each other down. It's a very intense stare down, and then I guess Logan starts like going to like back away or leave or whatever. At that point, Floyd kind of like steps up to Logan. And instead of like getting defensive and getting like in any way, Logan kind of goes like, "Oh, really? Like you?" So then he just starts smiling, just like intensely, just like at Logan. I mean at Floyd in this kind of like because he's got his whole thing that he's playing right now is like you're small. Mm-hmm. You are a small man. I have a small opponent. My opponent's so small. He's like, there is weight classes in boxing for a reason, and on June 6th, I'm going to show you why there's weight classes. He was like, I'm way bigger than Floyd. I'm younger than Floyd. He's past his prime. I'm in my prime. All these things. He's like, I've been taking this very, 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 very serious. Whatever his case is, he is kind of like, oh, you're going to do the, you know what I mean? Because you know how Jake is. Jake is the problem child. He will be the one to try to step up and what's up and do this. And Logan isn't playing that route. So when Floyd is, he's like, oh, are we doing this? And it's just a very good, intense stare down. It's something that you really want to see before a fight like this. I'm excited about it. I really do think that they're hyping it up in a good way. Mm. And
were you bummed they didn't kiss?
We'll see what happens in the ring, dog. We'll see what happens in the ring. It ain't over yet. I could see Floyd just giving Logan one big smoocher for the big check he finna get.
Yeah. Or like when they're like hugging.
Yeah.
You know?
Just one peck on the cheek real quick.
Yeah.
Or Logan's shorter, so it'll probably be like on the chest. A peck on the chest. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can see it. I'm hoping for that. We can place bets on that. mybookie.com.
Yeah.
Shouts
for sure.
out. So Logan is doing that. Jake is doing the Tyrone Woodley fight. So he is fighting Tyrone Woodley, retired UFC fighter. I guess recently retired, but he's a striker. He's like Ben Askren was never known to have a good stand-up game. He was a wrestler.
He was a wrestler, right? Yeah.
Tyrone Woodley does have a striking game.
Okay.
I don't know where people think this fight's going to go because I've been hearing multiple reports. One being Tyrone's manager said that Jake requested and fought for an instant rematch clause, like meaning like if he loses, he can instantly get a rematch. Like not of course, but meaning like there will be a rematch clause if he wants it. So that makes me feel like, is Jake afraid that he's going to lose because he's putting this rematch clause? Does he think that this might be a difficult thing? I've seen other reports saying Tyrone will fall, like he'll take the fall on this fight for the money. He's broke. He needs the money. So he'll probably take the fall to play along with the game and do what he's got to do because he's already lost the past 4 fights. So his view of like people really giving a fuck is a little less because they're like, we don't think that he's like, we're not seeing him win anyway. Why the fuck would we like, why would it matter if you beat him or whatever?
Yeah.
I'm seeing some of that. So this one is interesting because
I just hope it's not like a one punch done thing.
No, if it was that would be fun because if they can hype it up. They're already doing like they did a face off at some gym and they're talking shit to each other. No, they're just talking shit about each other saying like, okay, you lost to this person. He's like, you lost this, and that. Jake saying this to Tyrone. And Tyrone goes, yeah, to actual elite champions, real fighters. And then Jake goes, all right, if you win, I'll double your purse. How about that? If you win, I'll double your purse. If I win, you donate your purse to my charity or something like that. So they're already trying to like upsell this, but with everything that's going on in like the Floyd Logan fight right now, those things seem so much more intense that I think it's hurting this promo right now on the Jake front.
Yeah, because I guess Logan's not going into it as I'm a piece of shit.
He's trying not to because that's not his brand. Like other than the Japan thing, which was the one time he was like, damn, I really, really fucked up. His brand isn't to be the piece of shit. Like Jake says, he's the problem child, Jake Paul. Like Logan's like the good guy, like the one who's just trying to like help or whatever. Like his do Pokemon shit. His brand isn't I'm a piece of shit. He has a bunch of money and he's a white dude and you know all this shit. So anyone who doesn't actually pay attention will look at it and be like, that looks like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He still has it in his face, you know, that hey, I'm a piece of shit.
So that's that whole thing, but brand wise, that's not his brand, you know?
Okay.
So I'm very interested to see the fight. We're gonna see. I'm gonna be somewhere tonight, vaccinated, unmasked, not giving a fuck. Pandemic over, future mask off playing.
I actually have not been wearing masks at all lately, because I'm vaccinated.
So
the CDC said it was cool.
The CDC said it was cool. California, we can briefly talk about what's going on there. It's a shit show because they're still trying to like, even though the CDC said everything, they're still trying, like I think they had said up until June 15th, they're still going to have the mask mandates and like the COVID rule mandates. And then I still think they're trying to extend it past that date. Why? Like they're the extreme, but why be so extreme? What is at this point when we have so much news, so much information, so much better understanding,
is it performative?
Doing?
Is it like, what is it? Like,
here's what I'm thinking possibly. All of your citizens moved. Most of your important citizens, your flip-flop citizens moved out of your state, right?
Yeah.
So you lost so many people already.
Pissing more people off.
You lost so many people, and the people who have decided to stay are probably rocking with you. Now you got to like pander to your fan base.
Yeah.
Now now I think they're like, all right, now if you're in California, you believe that like you got to do all this to keep people safe. So they're like, look, we understand that they're saying that, but we're still going to be cautious because we're Californians and we already leaned in and lost so many people. We better keep on fucking leaning in. Because if we backtrack now,
I mean, bro, it's the I hate that. I hate that there's like people aren't willing to admit that they were wrong. You either have to double down or you know.
well, because think about the repercussions. Doubling down, you just get more people mad at you. They've been mad at you this whole time.
Yeah,
if
but
you backtrack, people will be like, wait, so I fucking did all this and this and this for you guys to do that? Because they're also doing weird shit where like you still have to pay taxes even after you dip for like the next year for dipping or whatever.
oh, well, that's different than like that's different from the mask thing though.
But it's all those things. It's like, all right, you leached off of everyone, or like everyone leached off you, whatever it is, right? Everyone wanted to come to California because it's the spot, but you were taxing the fuck out of everybody because everyone wants to be here. Well, you're the poppin' club. The hype died. You're not popping anymore. No one wants to be there.
Everyone wants to be in the middle of the country.
So now,
Yeah.
you're charging people. So you're charging people hella cover to come into the club so they can be popping. Now they're like, yo, this place ain't it anymore. We're going to another club. Now they're charging you a get out fee. You know what I'm saying? Now they're charging you at the door to bounce. Now they're like, you want your coat? All right, pay the coat person. There's another tab you got to pay there.
And also the parking, you know, you got to pay that.
And so I know that you only parked for tonight, but because you had parked here tonight, if you leave and go park somewhere else, you still need to park here for the next night because we wasn't prepared to have that parking space vacant. So it's like now you're trying to get whatever the fuck you can get because you were the poppin' club and what can we do now? But no one wants to be there anymore. Everyone wants to go down to the low key. Everyone's talking. Isn't it just ironic? Like everyone wants like conservative like policies with liberal ideas.
Yes. So I feel like there's always overcorrections for things, man. I feel like for too long, people were thinking one way, and then like we started seeing like, you know, a more progressive way of thinking, and then it got out of hand to where it was like this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, how do we go back to what we thought before, knowing what we know now? So it is interesting how that blend is happening.
Because people want to be in Texas, but they want to be in Austin. They want to be the most liberal place in the most conservative state.
Yeah.
So it's like all the policies, like, yeah, you can carry your gun. They can't tell you shit.
I love how Texas was like, all right, y'all trying to come? All right. Check this. Guns for everybody, no abortions.
That's what I was literally like. They were like, before, if all these Californians, they're like, we got to get our policies in a row fucking right now.
Yeah.
All these motherfuckers are coming. They're going to change the culture. Let's let all you Californians know that if you're going to be here, anyone over the age of 18 can carry a gun. We don't give a fuck about licenses.
Yeah.
And if you coming over here trying to have all these babies and abort, second that you hear a heartbeat, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap for you. You going to jail.
Yeah, so...
Which, bro, I think the whole 18 thing is wild. I'm pretty worried about being in the streets like that.
I mean, all it makes me feel is I got to be part of the...
Well, no,
I gotta
here's the
stay
thing.
scrapped.
I think the pandemic made people build up a lot of pent-up anger.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a lot of violent shit because of it.
I can see it. I think hopefully Houston doesn't seem to get that way because... At least by what I've seen, like, yeah, I know we saw that one fight or whatever at the
at the Minute Maid.
But other than that, I see those as more New York problems and stuff like that because you're in a tiny little box of an apartment. You want to be outside and you finally get to be out here. We have backyards and shit here.
Well,
we have like parks and stuff. Like it hasn't been that wild for us here.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't fully go crazy. Because honestly, even during the lockdown, we weren't really locked down.
We're like, I was finding an excuse to go to the grocery store every other day, to be honest.
Yeah, and I was getting fitted to go to the grocery store. It was a weird time.
It was a really weird time. I was trying to match masks and shoes. It was a fucking...
Yeah. But anyway, I was, all that to say was that, yeah, man, I think there's that's honestly like Elvira and I will like legit get like social anxiety when we're like around a lot of people because we're like, man, what the hell? Like, because you see people like not acting right and you're like, oh man, like this could potentially be like a bad situation.
This is going to sound bad. I don't know why I feel like, I don't know. In my head, it seems safer until I'm saying it out loud.
Yeah.
I just be going out at night.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, and you know what? Here's what I'm about to just say this. This is how I know I really like doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is stuff that I used to do to get bitches, and I ain't trying to get bitches no more, and I still like doing this. So now I just know.
Doing what?
I'm about to tell you, this used to be the date plan, and now I was like, I finally got to go back onto the streets and do it. Okay. For one, I gotta watch my words in the city, because when you're trying to claim an area, you gotta realize like what everyone thinks the area is. So I'm gonna be real. For me, hanging out wise, Montrose, Westheimer Road area, the spot.
Okay.
So I pull up.
At night?
It's been a little bit, especially at night.
Bro, okay, so here's my thing about that area is you got to know where you're at, because gentrification is just painting over it.
I know. There's cars getting broken into all the time.
Yeah.
That's that spot. But I go in there and I know how it works. So I'm kind of feeling that energy. I'm like,
even like being like on Washington Street.
yeah. I'm pulling up and I'm
It'll
like,
pop off.
I'm in my hood right now, right? I pull up and I'm like, I'm in my hood, and then I realize I'm like, fuck, this is Montrose. I can't just be calling the gayest area in Houston my hood. Like, oh my God, I'm in my hood. Oh my God, let's get
Go off,
going.
King. It's your month. Go off, King.
So like, it's hard to get a fit off and try to walk hard as fuck over like a rainbow crosswalk, dog. Like it's.
I don't know why I remember this, but I remember in high school I wore white jeans, and then you were like, hey bro, like that's a hard look. You know, there's a lot of good things happening for your community now. And I was like, bro, chill.
So I'm pulling up to my hood.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. So for one, Chapultepec Lupita, that's the late night 24-hour Mexican spot if you're trying to pull up like that. And that side, Chapultepec Lupita, that's the spot. From there, Agora. We got to pull up to Agora. And the thing about Agora is the coffee's there till 2 a.m. Like, it's open till 2 a.m.
I like
so
that
you
place.
straight. Get caffeinated, get myself hyped up. And now, Alicia hated me for this, and it's fine, and I get it. And, like, it's what it needs to be. But I've been on my bike riding wave, dog. I've been here
I want
riding
to bike ride
bikes.
with you. Let's get city bikes.
So we pulled up to the Buffalo Bayou Park, and we rented the bikes there. And I told myself in my head, mind you, I had a conversation with myself. I didn't include Alicia. All right?
That's
Of
number
me
one
telling
mistake.
myself, I'm not going to bullshit. I'm going to take the entire trail. I'm going to ride this bike, and I'm going to keep on going to the trail. I always derail, and I always pull up to the statues, and then I go do this and go do that, and I waste time on the bike, and then I just turn around. Nah, I'm devoting myself to this trail. I am pussying out this time. So then I'm going. Alicia's like, hasn't ridden a bike in a minute, so she's trying to reacclimate herself.
Yeah.
We're getting to a point where she's like, yo, have we passed it? Like, where can we turn back? I said, no. I told myself I'm going to do this trail. She's like, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't say any of that to myself. I said, no, like, we're going through the trail. I already told myself we ain't pussying out. And she's like, I will self-identify as pussy here. She's like, I did not tell myself anything.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, that's
this is fault. Not, but I said, nah, this is the way I used to do it. I used to take him to Agora. I used to take him on bike rides, so I seemed adventurous and seemed, like I was doing this. But now I'm grown, daughter in lap, wife, still out here bike riding, trying to impress zero bitches. On the contrary, getting bitches mad at me.
Did you just call your wife a bitch?
In the context of she's my female dog's mom. She my bitch's baby moms. You feel me?
Sure.
So, yeah, I just say all that to say that I'm out here bike riding, drinking coffee again. You're gonna see it on the gram.
Yeah.
It's the way.
That sounds cute.
So let's go. We got to go city biking for sure.
Yeah, we should do a double date city biking. But not if you even pull that. I would have ridden the whole trail, bull crap.
It's not that crazy. It was 10 miles when we had done we didn't do the whole thing. We ended up having a roadblock and had to go around. It was 10 miles. It took about an hour. And
I'm not gonna lie though. When I was in Los Angeles and we biked ride from Santa. I forgot what beach it was, but we biked ride to Venice. It was pretty fun.
See, it's the wave. It's the wave right now. So let's move on to a few other things here.
Should we go into the shoes thing?
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me about it.
Okay. So eBay removes the Mambasita Nike Kobe 6 auction after Vanessa Bryant speaks out.
So Nike had the auction?
No, so somebody basically, this shoe was not released because, as we all know or don't know, the Kobe deal with Nike ended because Nike didn't give Kobe a lifetime deal. So they ended that, and this was the last shoe they were working on. And some way, somehow,
it leaked or
someone
something.
got a hold of these shoes. And I think I was talking to Ruben about it, and we came to the conspiracy that it might be on some executive's kid type shit.
I can see that. Those are the only types of people, like, the executives have like the power but don't really give a fuck. They don't actually have like the desire. The young kids are like, yo, I need that shoe though.
Yeah, so basically someone got it and was trying to sell it and auction it on eBay. And then let's see if they have her statement. Oh yeah. So this is Vanessa Bryant. This is a shoe I worked in honor of my daughter Gina. It was going to be called the Mambasita. Shoe is an exclusive black and white colorway on her daddy's shoe. I picked the colors in honor of her uniform. The number 2 she wore, just like her uniform. The middle pattern, Kobe and Gigi on the back in gold instead of Kobe's signature. The inside shoe details butterfly wings, halo, etc. The Mambasita shoes are not approved for sale. I wanted it to be sold in honor of my daughter, with all the proceeds benefiting the Mambasita Sports Foundation, but I did not re-sign the Nike contract and decided not to sell the shoes. The shoes were not approved to be made in the first place. Nike has not sent any of these pairs to me and my girls. I do not know how someone else has their hands on the shoes I designed in order of my daughter, Gigi, and we don't. And I hope these shoes don't get sold at Nike. And then there's a picture of someone holding the shoes.
That's a hard shoe, though.
That is a hard shoe.
That is a hard shoe. I will say that right now. So I never cared about Kobe shoes, to be honest with you. It's fucked up for them to have to deal with. This is the second time where it's like the media outlets the way that they found out that their dad dies, and
not
then,
just that her daughter
and the
and
daughter,
yeah.
And then now, like, this is the way that they're finding out that like shoes are leaked. It's like, come on, can't anything be held sacred? Like when it comes to this shit,
for
like
sure.
everyone acts like they have so much respect for it, but then like.
Money, bro. Money will.
That's the thing. So every rapper, and here's what I get it too, but like every rapper will sing some sort of Kobe song, and it's like, cool, you did something in memory of Kobe, but you realize you're making so much money off of that.
Yeah.
And the moment that has Kobe tied to it, you're going to get more eyes. So it's like, it is that performative thing with like the companies. It's like if you say something everyone's rocking with, people are going to want to interact with it because then they feel like they're doing something good.
Yeah.
You feel like you're doing something good. But you're still getting the money at the end of the day. Yeah. It's not like it's going to that.
I feel like Nike took an L by not giving Kobe the Kobe estate like a lifetime deal.
Yeah.
Like they took a massive L on that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one of those things where you don't know. They're probably still trying to figure out how they want to structure the stuff. They don't want to just be like, hey, look, you're going to be locked up here for the rest of your life or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know how all those deals work. It's an interesting one with his position.
Yeah.
Like where things were going to go from there. But it is interesting how now the shoe industry has gone in this way where like that's the thing. Like how do we get the thing that like no one has? And it's not about like, it used to be about the story. It used to be about the release. It used to be about like all the things around it. Now it's just like nobody has this. Do you want this?
Yeah, and
like that's all it's about.
That I hate because then you don't put quality into it. You don't put design into it. You don't put like
you just make a very few amount.
Yeah, you just make a little bit.
Oh, speaking of, there's a little bit of news there. Virgil is set to make 50 different Nike collabs.
Why so many?
I don't know, but now this kind of thing, like everyone should be able to fucking try to get one at least. Of the 50, like, you have 50 chances.
50 L's, bro.
50 L's on the sneaker app?
Yeah.
Just 50 back-to-back L's. That might be what ends up happening, but That's coming out. I don't know all of them. See if maybe you can find.
Hot take. I rock with some of the Virgil shoes, but even with Yeezys and like these people aren't trying anymore. Like it's all just hype. So they some of them just look like ass. Like even the last Travis Scott. Did you see the leaked Air Max Travis Scott shoe that's supposed to come out?
Yes.
That shoe is bad, bro. Like he had like I don't know. Like no one's just trying anymore. They're just like, oh, I got clout, so I can do whatever.
I sometimes feel that way, but sometimes I'm starting to realize the first Yeezy, when he was first doing that, and that seemed like, oh shit, that was like groundbreaking.
Yeah.
The amount of people he had on that team creating that shit, Fear of God, Burberry, Balenciaga, all these things to finally get that thing. And then they all get launched and they're all on their other thing. You then start realizing, okay, everyone thought about this. Everyone was putting work into this. They take off. They start getting these ideas. Now everyone's everywhere and they're all making things that look the same. So we're always like, everyone just copying everyone. Everyone has these similar fashion ideas.
Yeah.
And it's still the art and you're changing things and you're trying to do tones and you're trying to do things with how this thing goes and how do we get it's weird shit where like I get it, but like how do we get the whole world? I think that's the mentality.
I'm not gonna lie though, I do hate designer sneakers for that reason.
I do too.
I hate designer sneakers because one, they're just gonna try to look like the Jordan 1, or they're gonna try to look like Air Maxes. And then it just looks corny. Like I hate it. Or they're gonna try to look like a ripoff like Stan Smith.
Yeah, and so then they're just like, how can we you can only have, especially with the designer thing, you can only have so many sneaker silhouettes that work well with like jeans or work well with like a dress pant or work well with like the way that they feel like the designer shoe should be worn. You know what I mean? So it's like there's only so many options that you can go where that looks cool. So then the Yeezy team will try to do weird shapes and then we say they look like spaceship shoes. Well, how do you
or they
good
do
out
like
the box?
They do like terrible colorways and you're like, what the
but then everyone still buys it and everyone's starting to wear that colorway. Then from there, all the shoes start having that tonal pattern. It still changes and shakes the market. So that's when I realized, like, okay, we can complain, but like we're still entertained by it. You feel me?
Yes and no. I'm honestly pretty tired of like the earth tones.
Like NMDs. We were on that for like a good solid year and a half.
Yeah, and then it was a wrap.
It doesn't matter. We went through the thing where we're like, man, they ain't doing anything cool. It's one thing when
they're still making them.
When we're but there's one thing when we're talking about how it's not cool, and there's another thing when we're not talking about it at all. So they dropped the 10, Louis Vuitton, artist director, Virgil Abloh, this and this and this and that. All right. So it has been since speculated that the pair have been working on another drop of the same scale. Back in January, rumors, the 20, which would have been cool. Okay. So basically, I have seen here numbers 1 through 50.
Yo, hold on. What do you think about these shoes? I might get them for my birthday. It's like the poor man's Bad Bunny.
Oh, they're cool. I see what you mean. They're white and black. Did you see that Bad Bunny video?
I haven't seen the new video or the blue ones. I don't know which one.
Oh, God. We have a few things to talk about.
Okay.
We have a few things to talk about.
I've heard the new song.
We have
the new
a few
single
things
that came
to
out.
talk about. So you heard the song?
Yeah,
you heard
I like
him
the
like
song. The
rapping in Japanese at the end?
Yeah. Bro,
right.
That song's a bop.
All right. You got to watch the video because I saw the video first.
Is it like anime?
The end is anime. It's like it goes through his life, but like a day in his life. It's a really cool video. I really appreciated it. My Spanish is fucking ridiculously bad because I never understand what Bad Bunny's saying.
Bro, I know exactly what he's saying. It's not that hard.
I know you do, but I don't.
Yeah.
So that's how it is everything. I just know the melody, right?
Yeah.
We're listening to it, and then the Japanese comes on.
Mm-hmm.
To me, he just does it so well that I still feel like he's rapping in Spanish. I just don't understand it, right?
Yeah. So
then Alicia goes, what did he say? And I'm like, oh, was I talking? Like, because I tend to do that. Mm-hmm. Was I talking in the middle of it? I rewind it. I'm trying to listen. I don't recognize the words. So I'm looking at her. I'm like, I don't know. What did he say? And she goes to me like, what did he say? So then I'm thinking like, what am I missing? Yeah. Like, did I not catch something? You know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, I'm trying to listen. Like, how bad am I being at this?
Yeah.
And she's like, what did he say? And I'm like, what did he say? I don't know. She's like, what did he say? I'm like, what are you talking about? I can't understand. I'm trying to rewind it, read it. She's like, he is speaking a different language. And I was like, what? Oh, damn. She's like, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, but you're making it seem to me like I'm missing something. Like when you got the mustard right in front of you and like you looking everywhere and they're telling you ain't doing it right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's your fault. It's your fault for not explaining things and not telling hilarious. Me. My Spanish is really bad. That's all that was to say. That song goes hard. The video is really cool. But we're going to move on to another topic here. Your boy Wildin'.
Who's my boy?
Your boy Tucker Carlson.
That is not my boy, bro. Hell no.
So, if you haven't already heard this,
was the worst thing.
So
Everybody agreed that segregation was the worst thing this country ever did.
He doesn't even sound like he believes
certain
it.
Categories of citizens into separate, lesser accommodations, barring them from public places, treating them like lepers or untouchables. That was completely immoral and wrong. We were told that a lot, and most of us strongly agreed. It was
most of us strongly agree.
So imagine our confusion today looking out across the country. The very same people, literally the very same, who just the other day told us that segregation was immoral, are now enforcing segregation. Medical Jim Crow has come to America. If we still had water fountains,
hold on.
Unvaccinated would have separate ones.
Let's go on to that. All right.
Okay. None of what he said was factual, and also he I love how he outs himself as a racist, and still like people love it.
When he was like he formed his mouth to say best right before he said worst.
Yeah.
Before segregation was formed his mouth to say best.
Yeah.
To just then say worst.
Yeah, and then he was like, those same people that told us segregation was wrong are now doing this to us. First of all, bro, why do white people want to be oppressed so bad?
I'm saying, let's continue here.
Oh.
Let's unpack this, as my therapist would say. By the way, stop calling for Tucker to be canceled because of his opinion. I watch Tucker. He amuses me. I don't want my entertainment taken away. But I shall aggressively disagree. Okay, where do we begin? Number one, when he says everybody. When he says everybody agrees that segregation is the worst thing.
I don't think we need to listen to Charlamagne talk about it, but we heard what Tucker said. Now, so they had put him on Donkey of the Day. I saw that. I was looking at that. I am just, for one, I don't think I've listened to enough of his stuff. I'm sure he be wilding like that all the time.
Yeah.
It was that crazy entertaining to look at. I will say. Go off first, because I feel like you got things to say.
Man, he's just like, I bet all the Karens just want to like get with him.
You think that's like,
yeah,
that's
his vibe.
The one. Yeah, I see that, to be honest. I could,
yeah,
those be the type. Karens,
yeah,
Karens love to get them a problematic gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% feel like that's the way.
Yeah.
So what is the thing? So he's basically saying
he's comparing against segregation was not a choice for people. One, like you didn't choose to be segregated against. You can choose to get the vaccine or not.
Exactly. You don't choose what race you are. You don't choose who they decide to.
You don't choose to be oppressed. And also, no one's doing that to anybody. Like, there's no, like I said, I went to a Nationals game. They didn't even ask me for anything. They just let me fucking in. And
so they have the vaccinated and unvaccinated sections. You've seen that.
They really don't, though.
But they do, I heard, because I'll see it and I'll be like, look at the vaccinated sections. Those are the people, I guess, just telling the truth. But
no, I've been to the games where, like, there's no sections. Like, that's cap.
So you out here at games, dog?
Yes, I went to the game. That's cap. There's no vaccinated and unvaccinated sections.
Damn.
Everyone's just like...
I'm looking through my text messages real quick.
Okay.
Because I don't see my invite. I feel like there's absolutely no invite at all.
No, we got to go to a game.
Damn.
It was last minute, dog.
I'm peeling, dog. I'm peeling. I ain't see no invitations here, dog. Like, it's ridiculous.
My bad.
Like, acting like I don't like sports. Like I didn't want to have things to talk about here, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no. It's my bad. I was being fake. My bad. But all that to say, bro, that's cap. Like, You know, like there's no one's gonna.
So when they're saying stuff like that,
yeah.
Is it just to try to like you said, oppress themselves, just to be like,
yes,
cry,
100%.
cry, look at me now? The same thing we can put that.
And I love how they're the ones that call people snowflakes.
Rogan did something kind of similar. Did you hear about that whole thing?
No,
it was a few weeks ago, maybe, where he was talking to somebody, and he basically just starts saying that like white straight men are no longer going to have an opinion. They're just being shut up all the time. Where like they're not even going to be able to go outside. It's like, I'm being serious. They're not even going to be able to go outside and like talk about anything. They're going to be so scared. As he's like a straight white man with like the biggest platform.
Yeah.
With like the biggest, like everyone listens to his opinion. So for him to feel like white people don't have an opinion, it's like, bruh, like.
Who's been running the game for so long?
And look, I like his podcast and I like all the guests that he has. I like him, but some things like that. And I mean, he always says, like, he talks so much on podcasts and says so many things. He's going to say some things he didn't fully think through. Yeah. But that's a little like, dog.
Yeah.
Bruh.
You're reaching.
Bruh.
Yeah.
And not like, I know he's not racist. He has so many people like of different types of race colors like represented. But it's just like, my thing is like, you can want to uplift other people, but still the fact that people like that feel like they're oppressed.
Yeah.
And it's just because
they don't know real oppression.
Because they like, look, they were being listened to nonstop for years, and the one time people were like, yo, in this specific topic, we don't really give a fuck what your thoughts are. Yeah. People are like, oh, my opinion is silence. It's like, no, bitch, we just heard your opinion on everything else. They've never had an opinion. Yeah. So that's just my thing. Yeah. And I think that kind of stuff ties hand in hand. We're like, all right, these white men who have just been able to say whatever the fuck they want and it be okay. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden, like they feel silence. Now all of a sudden they feel like there's an issue. All of a sudden they feel like they need to be brought up back. Here's what it is. They've always been in the front of the line of people caring about them. And others like, hey, on certain issues and most things, like there's certain things right now, we heard you, we know your thoughts already, and a lot of times they're racist. Yeah. So can we put like maybe this opinion up and like see what that is? No, you're going to throw a woman's opinion? That's ridiculous. Yeah. That is ridiculous. Yeah. So, I don't know, dog. Trump 2024 for starters, to get things back in line, really, because the fact that we now have Kamala Harris out there doing what she's doing, you know, being a voice for the minorities of some sort. We don't know what type of minorities, for the, you know, the people that put people in jail. We have those representations there. And then we have Biden in there giving us all of the representation for the Chinese government that's going to come in and take over. Yeah. Now, you know, we're stopping the Asian hate, and it just doesn't feel like white men have a place anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, we have a white man there, but he's just a white face puppet for China. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't really a white. It's not the white male they want.
You know that scene in SpongeBob where Mr. Krabs is playing like a sad song in the world's tiniest violin? That's how I feel right now.
That's how you feel towards the performatively oppressed population. Yeah, I feel you. So what are we gonna do about it? Are we going to start our own news channel? No. And put our version of the news out there?
Oh, and just say crazy stuff?
Or, yeah, we just put propaganda and shit, but make it all, like, fact?
I do. I just think of, like, the grandparents, like, the white grandparents watching this, like, just going ape shit. Like, they're like, oh, my God, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. And Tucker Carlson isn't news. He does, like, opinion pieces. Yeah. But it's sold to you as news, which like it pisses me off. But whatever.
Could we start doing that? Like, look, we'll just report news going on in Magnolia all the time, and just be like, couple gets arrested for making meth, and just like all that stuff. Just put all those news. We have another domestic violence case on white domestic violence. Just put out all that stuff. Yeah. Be like, CEO has written his son out of the will. Just wild shit. Just, you know, his son has been removed from the will after doing 75 lines of cocaine with Brazilian strippers. Just like, you throw out all the need to know articles that people be trying to cover up.
Yeah.
And just put the real news out there, dog.
Okay.
So that they feel represented.
Oh, okay. Inclusion.
Yes.
Inclusion.
Because right now I feel like, I don't know about you, but this, like, the news is the one time they be casting black people for shit. It's the one time. They be all over that motherfucker, real talk. Like, there ain't no lack of jobs for those actors, for those crisis actors.
Oh, my God.
So I'm just... I'm just saying, dog, we need to have more white inclusion in the news.
Sure. Yeah. They need to we need to start giving them their spots in colleges back, I guess.
Real talk. Can we just let them take all the debt, but then can we let them take over all the debt, let them get into all the college debt, and then every job simultaneously stop requiring college degrees?
That'd be hilarious.
So that they're just stuck with all the debt and then it doesn't matter anymore?
Yeah. I do hate, though, we've had the student debt talk a lot, but I do hate, though, that, like, on the left side, they're like, student debt is racist, blah, 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 like, all this other thing. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's just predatory lending.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, like, stop making it about something it's not. Like,
I understand that stance, though, because only, and you know best that, and I don't know where the root of this issue is, but most times minorities don't have financial education. So it becomes a thing where, like, more than likely a white kid is going to have more financial literacy and understand what they're getting into.
not necessarily, bro.
If they're...
Because I saw some kids in college that were, like 30, 40K in debt, and I was like, for SFA, that ain't worth it. That's wild.
That's the party school, right?
And they weren't like minorities either.
Affluent.
It wasn't like all schools are party schools if you go looking for it.
But I feel like there's more, like, statistically.
No, it's just,
not really.
No, it's just what you make of it, really.
Were you partying out there, dog?
Every now and then. I wasn't like every night I'm gonna go out. Couldn't afford it.
It'd be wild, right? Because then, like, do they up price a lot of those drinks and stuff like that for these
No,
college kids?
it's actually really cheap to drink at NAC.
It's because they're like, oh, these kids ain't got nothing.
Yeah, so like you could get a fishbowl for like $5.
Damn, y'all.
So if you wanted to turn into an alcoholic, you could very easily.
Do you think there was a lot of people that was happening for them?
Probably. I mean, I'm sure there was. Like, I don't know how there wasn't that happening.
Were you in a fraternity? Did we talk about this? You was in a fraternity, weren't you? You tried to pledge?
I did pledge. But I quit. I won't say the name of the fraternity. But I didn't finish.
You're no longer in the brotherhood?
It was weird. I had to like sign an NDA.
Oh, what?
Yeah. That's why I can't say much about it.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Bruh. Pablo sucked dick, everyone.
No.
And everyone, he can try to say no, but he signed an NDA, so you guys will never know. So everything that I say...
I can tell you what I went through.
Everything that I say,
no.
You have to take it for more of a fact than what he says, because he's legally bound to cap. I'm just saying, he's legally bound to cap.
No, it was like weird shit. Like, it was like you're gonna go to the woods and you're blindfolded and you gotta do like 50 push-ups and say like our mission statement. It was like stuff like that. Like, I'd be like, oh, what the fuck? Like, this is fucking lame. And then the thing that made me be over it is one time like the whole time you're blindfolded and it's just like you're doing like workout stuff. It felt like boot camp, but like
like predatory.
No, not like predatory. Like, no one's gonna like reach for you. Like, it's not like gay like that. It really wasn't.
But yours was a Hispanic one, right? Hispanic focused.
I don't know. I can't say. But
if it was, I think the gay stuff happens in primarily white fraternities.
Yeah, I will say that. And yeah, no, mine wasn't a mainstream white fraternity. But what made me over it was they made us eat a raw onion, And I was like, all right, I'm out.
What?
Like the next day, I was like,
That's
I'm out.
That was not even that crazy. I would have eaten a raw onion real quick to be a part of a brotherhood.
No, man, you gotta. And then I was like, all right, man, these people put me through some shit. And then once I'm done, I just have like we're now it's just we're cool. Like I was like, nah,
like no, you saw me struggle. This ain't cool.
Like we're not cool. Like you were a dick. Like what you mean? Now we're brothers because I pay you.
Oh, because you got to pay dues and shit?
Yeah. And then that's when I was like, nah, dude, I'm out. Like, F this.
I started thinking about that, like the structure of clubs and like, all right, there's 2 buildings.
Yeah.
They both got the same drinks.
Mm-hmm.
They both playing the same music.
Mm-hmm.
Why does this one have a bigger cover charge, and why do people care about this one, but you don't care about the hood spot over here? And it's all about the social stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it's like this spot is the place where everyone want to be at. Mm-hmm. And then you start talking about like you go up there and there's a racism at the door of like you can't wear that or you can't wear that or you can't wear that. Mm-hmm. But if you pay me this much money, then I'll look the other way and act like you ain't wearing that.
Yeah.
And you look at it and you're like, all right, the average lifespan of a club's like 3 years, something like that, because it's only while it's popping. You want to be in with this group of people. Like, look, we're the cool kids. We're the ones that are popping. Mm-hmm. If you want to look like you're popping, pay us this much money and you can come in here.
Yeah.
But you're paying so much more for like more drinks just to like be around pretentious people.
Yeah. And I mean, like, yeah. And then I was like, man, and then like, this isn't even that cool. Like, it's not. Like, I was like, y'all trying to be different by really just like, I don't know, man.
Y'all trying to be different in a group?
Yeah, like, I was like, this is still the same thing. Like, might as well just be a white fraternity, like, you know?
Yeah. I'm so glad I didn't go through that whole fraternity thing. Even though I think I would have been a really great frat kid.
I think so too. I think Marco would have been good at it.
Marco would have been great at it.
But it sucks though for the like that the white dude ones, bro. Those are hectic.
Those are the type I feel like you gotta like
tailgate every weekend, and you gotta like they make you like set up, and they're gonna treat you like. Bro, I remember I was like when I was at RA, this kid came in and he had like with like red Sharpie, he had like dicks all over like his forehead, and then like some like they like wrote some stuff on his chest. I don't remember what they wrote, and I was like, hey man, like, are they hazing you? And he's like, no, bro, like I want this, and I was like, nah, bro, they're hazing you, right? And then he was like, no, it's not hazing, because like you bro, like that's the thing everyone's afraid of is like if you get caught for hazing, like it's a wrap for you.
Oh, so it has to like.
Yeah, it has to be
I
like. I
consented to these dicks.
Yeah.
No, I actually had drawn the left one on my own.
Yeah. Like, no, I drew this on myself. It's cool.
Yeah. No. There ain't haze. There's no haze anywhere around there, to be honest.
Yeah. And then I was,
Well, I think we should start our own fraternity. An adult fraternity for people who didn't get to experience real fraternities.
It's not that cool.
And I think that's the wave now. But I think we're good. I think we got a few things put down on the table.
Yeah.
And once again, thank you for listening. Thank you for checking us out.
Love you guys.
Make sure that you check out Bella's Instagram page at Bella My Pooch. Make sure that you hitting all the YouTubes and
like, share, subscribe,
all that. Real talk. Just hop in the comments for real. Y'all better be swimming in them comments. Real talk.
Yeah, I might just start fake accounts and talk to myself. I don't know,
because I don't see nobody commenting. I don't see nobody asking us questions, telling us things, and we need to know y'all's thoughts. Because if not, it's seeming real quiet in there. Is all I'm saying. It's seeming mad quiet.
I'm getting sad. I'm about to like email the podcast myself.
So hit us up. Let us know your thoughts. And keep on rocking with us.
Yeah.
We out. Boom.